Hello, programming engineers. Welcome back once more to this course for frequency variators or drives. So in the section that we're about to look into, we are going to learn how to configure our parameters for a Yaskawa drive. But they're going to be now physical. So the same simulator or emulator that you already have, which is the ones that you had already been participating in, are going to be exactly the same drive model. So the same drive emulator or simulator is the one that we physically have. So then you're going to be able to see how easy it is to run configurations once we know our methodology. Now, this is also going to be quicker and much more efficient because we already know which parameters to go through. But even so, we're going to look for them all together. So I'm going to open the Excel document. And actually, this part, we already saw that it's to make our motor more efficient. And we saw that our motor already moved. Now, which one is next? Yaskawa. So this model I'm going to add to basically look for our manual, but we already have our manual. Okay? Now, I have my manual in English and in Spanish. Okay? So I am going to go through our, well, we already have it in Spanish. So I'm going to opt out, I'm not opt out, but I'm going to opt for the English part. So if I remember, all parameters start with, I think they are 0. Here we go. Actually, we have many of them here. Okay, so we have now our reference, our speed or velocity reference, which is V01. Here we go. So I'm going to start filling this out. And what else? We have a startup command, which is already here, V02. And what else? We select digital input drives. So it's telling us here our parameter. Here it is, 3-wire. So it's giving us the A103 parameter, which may help us configuring our connection for our 3-wire or our 2-wire connection. Now, what does this mean? This means that if we enter these parameters, but parameter 3330, it's already going to configure by default our most important parameters for our 3-wire connection. So therefore, I'm going to go on this side, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to paste. And then I have to configure. So configure. I have to configure my input, which is a spin switch for my motor, which I think is H10. I can't remember which one it is. I'll do a double check later. So actually, I'm going to take the other manual so I don't lose the other part. So this is H105. And this way, I would be configuring my H105 input, which says equals 0. Okay? Now, I have to modify this parameter same as 3,330. And my digital input parameter, which is, I think, number 5. Now, with this, it should work. Let's see what else does it indicate here. It's telling us how it works. And that's basically it. This is basically it. Okay, so this is ready. Now, what else is missing? We need to configure inputs and outputs for our drives. So then this would be H01 and on. Because this is number 5 and we started from 1. Okay, so we move from 1 down. So in this case, it's going to be H1, which is probably going to be the stop sign. And the only thing that would be missing would be the motor data plate information. So this is where they should be. I think I remember this is C and T. Here we go. This is for our control part for volts, hertz. So we're going to check on these later. For motor parameters, here we go. From E201. So that's E201 to basically E212. Okay? There we go. Now, we already have our parameter chart that I consider, at least, that we're going to be using. And these are the absolutely necessary ones for our methodology. Now, with this, we're going to see how they're very easily connected. And you'll see that they're basically the same thing. Same thing as our previous drive, which was Delta. But I'd also like you guys to notice how our physical drive is, even though they're the same as our simulator or the emulator that we already know. I'd like you guys to notice that this is the physical part, okay? And having said this, I'll see you guys in our next video.